Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back again for another Market Watch Investments video. Have a plethora of cards we'll be showcasing for you guys tonight. These will be my personal selections, and I do hope that you enjoy. Starting tonight, I wanted to review a couple collections here that I found on the eBay platform. This has some pretty nice gems here. The majority of this stuff is near mint LP and its first edition, and it's of course all favorite Generation 1 cards here. Really great stuff. I'm just going to go through here really quick because the seller was nice enough to actually include a card list, which is always very important for these higher purchases. I don't agree with this price point. I don't believe that this was worth it. I personally would not spend $1,200 on this myself. It is equipped with a make an offer feature, so maybe you guys could probably whittle down the seller here if you want to shoot him a message. But this is the full lineup right here. Has their legend here of what they consider the conditions, and then their actual conditions of the cards here, and more specifically the names and everything like that. So biggest thing from this, as you can see here, the Vampire Lord is very light played, and the Injection Fairy Lily, I think it was lightly played. So a lot of heavy hitters. I mean, again, these are first edition Gen 1. You have Gemini Elf, Labyrinth of Nightmare, Dark Narc Affair, two really great cards. I personally prefer the OCG artwork more for Gemini Elf, but this is a high rarity secret, and Gen 1's really great. Fire Princess, another great. Labyrinth of Nightmare, super. So all first edition here, and then Injection Fairy Lily, infamous. Legacy of Darkness, really great. One of my all-time favorite Gen 1 secret rares. Ring of Destruction is pretty nice. Help Humor, a lot of really great stuff. Again, you got to be careful with these. You definitely want to double check to make sure that you can see exactly what set, rarity, and edition and all that these are from. And then it's really nice that they have this legend. A lot of sellers don't do that, and it makes it a lot more uncomfortable to buy. But this is pretty great. Again, I don't think it's worth quite $1,200, but this is something that I thought was interesting. Maybe it'll go down over time, or maybe you can shoot them an offer, but this was one of the more interesting ones that I found. Next is going to be something that actually just ended today. I was taking a look at it, and I was pretty excited about it because there's a lot of really great stuff. As you can see here, it's really hard to see. Again, this is a prime example of sellers really not doing not really doing justice to photos. It's not very good quality, quite blurry. You have to zoom in, and it's a big hassle to try to figure out like conditions and additions and sets and all this stuff. And there's like this strange discoloration here, so not a lot of stuff. I mean, the first thing that you'll see here is, there's like an ultimate rare virus here. There's a Gate Guardian, which is an MRD first edition here. We have the Anniversary Blue Eyes. We got a Breaker, which I think is first edition MFC. A lot of really cool stuff, and some first edition Mirror Forces, or some of like the heavy hitters if we go down here. But again, you always want to make sure that you look for the legends, check the legends, and check the conditions. And also Asian English. Asian English is significantly less valuable. And not as expensive, and you can't really tell from the front. Some of them don't even have the AEs on there. You need to check the backs for the kanji, so beware of that. But at first glance, this looks like there's a lot of really great stuff going on, and don't get me wrong, there is a lot of nice stuff in here. There's a lot of great stuff in here, but it's the conditioning that really tanked this. This actually did not sell, not surprising, because a lot of the heavy hitters were just in terrible condition here. If you can see the legends here, and they gave the conditions here. So the Mirror Force MRD, it is first edition, but it's moderately played, so trash. Pretty much useless. That was something that was very significant in this. A lot of really great Generation 1 high rarity cards here. And then if you get towards the more specific card was the Gate Guardian. It's right here. It is MRD first edition, but it's also moderately played. Again, so Yatagarasu, great. It's a near mint original Yatagarasu, infamous bird, but it's not first edition, so that takes a giant hit. So there's a lot of really nice cards here, but again, you have to check the rarities. Even the Anniversary, it's so sad. The Anniversary Blue Eyes here is heavily played, and it looks so nice in the picture. That is personally my favorite artwork of Blue Eyes. It looks very great, but it's in terrible condition. So at first glance, this looks like a lot of really great cards, and don't get me wrong, it is a lot of really great high rarity old stuff. Some of it's even in first edition, but the conditions at this point, it's going to be for collectors. value, and collector's value is pretty much almost solely to near mint. Maybe if you're lucky, lightly played, but mostly just near mint is going to be the real sell values in this. So unfortunately this didn't sell. I mean, maybe he wants to decrease this. If these were good condition and all, like, you know, first edition good condition, a lot of them are first edition, that would have been kind of what was the attraction that I wanted to look at this originally. But so they got a little ways to go on this one. Maybe it'll sell next time, a reduced price, and then maybe I don't know, getting cards with better rarities. But anyway, that was something that was interesting. The next one is going to be again, kind of a little bit more my style. This is a first edition original ultra rare Goblin Attack Force, and we have a Tribe Infecting Virus first edition here. Most of this other stuff, this black binder really isn't anything. This white binder is really where the majority of the value comes from here. A couple repeat photos, a couple first editions here and there. These Ryu Senjis are first edition. Unfortunately, this Fiber Jar is unlimited. These two other fusions are first edition. I believe this Mask of Restrict and the Jar of Greed are first edition. Now, of course, obviously, there's, you know, you can tell right away. This is, they got some fake cards in here, like this fake Ultra Magician of Faith, but I believe this is an original first edition Lava Golem and an original first edition Invader of the Throne, which is really cool. Not really much here. These are really cool. This is really what attracted me to this lot, was the first edition Grave Robber Super and the first edition Magic Stamp Painful Choices first edition and the Magic Stamp Super Rare first edition Giant Trunades. Again, I'm just an avid fan of Generation 1 collector stuff, so this is really cool. Obviously, this kind of stuff is fake, so you don't really pay attention. I mean, you go into this knowing that there's going to be some kind of just some little sidebar thing here, first edition Luster Dragon. So a couple pretty cool things. One of the biggest things here was this is a first edition ultimate rare original Rise of Destiny machine duplication, which is really great. And this is also an MRD first edition Ultra Magic Jammer. I believe this Joanne, I believe it is first edition as well. Last Terran, I believe this is first edition, and then a second first edition Tribe Infecting Virus, which is one of my all-time favorite super rares of all time. So the biggest hitters that really drew my attention to this one was the first edition ultimate rare machine dupe. That's an incredibly expensive card, very, very sought after for Cyber Dragon players in general, and then of course some of the original Generation 1 / Legacy set first editions. More specifically for these four right here, these magics are really, really great. So again, this is another one that I think is overpriced. I wouldn't personally pay $2,000 by any means. It is up to make an offer, so maybe you can whittle down the seller, or maybe they'll decrease it over time. Who knows? But this was definitely something that I thought was interesting. Unfortunately, they did not put a legend. They put a couple of things here, but there's no conditioning. So obviously, this seller doesn't really know much about the game, or they're just too lazy to put the conditionings they say are very good. They don't really know what they're talking about. This is like their son's cards and like their husband's cards, and they don't know conditioning. So again, be very, very careful when you're buying on these platforms. It is better to be a little more secure in those that actually have the legends and actually tell you specifically the rarity sets and conditioning. Next is going to be something a little bit newer here. I don't normally go for more modern cards here. It looks like this collection was set up by set. It's a lot of like Flames of Destruction and like a Eternity Code or something like that. We can see pretty much all of it's first edition. If you go through pretty much all of it is first edition. Some really nice stuff. Original first edition. I think it's what's it? Circuit Break, Borlo Dragon, and Evenly Matched. These are all original set stuff. We have what's it called? Inspector Border here. And we Infinite Permanence, this is very nice. First edition original Imperm. We have Vampire Sucker. We have Transbania, the Nightmares here. We have this Ghost Bell first edition original secret, which is really, really nice. We have the original Danger Stuff first edition secret, which is really nice. Ledgerman here, which I'm going to get into shortly. This baddie right here, Witch, awesome. Soul Fusion stuff. So you can see it was definitely, we got Colossus over here, original first edition Secret Colossus. So it goes by set. Randomly they threw in a first edition Necros, which is really great. I believe that was Dark Crisis, if I'm not mistaken. So that's a old school card. A gem just thrown in there. Original Pot of Extravagance first edition, which is Strike. We have a Phantasmal Dragon Phantasme original first edition. So a lot of really great, pretty modern. Another Ghost Girl here, Spooky Dogwood first edition secret. So it was almost like they pretty much like bought the whole entire sets and just slapped them into binders, more specifically for like the majority of the holos. Another thing that's really interesting is there's a first edition Starlight Rare Infect Veiler. Again, I think that this lot is overpriced as well. This is like 500 bones plus, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to check TCG Player. It's been a while since I checked this, but this is worth some really good money, and this was definitely really stuck out specifically from this set. For me personally, I think this is really great. I personally don't like Starlight Rare, but I know they're very expensive, and the ratios are pretty competitive to get these, so I thought that was pretty nice. And I do like Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler's a really great level 1. And then another Ghost Girl here for first edition secrets. So there's a lot of really good stuff. You know, if you're into modern stuff, I think this is pretty great. $2,000, I think it's kind of pushing it. It's probably almost close to $2,000 if you actually pull full prices. Again, when you're buying lots like this, you don't want to pay full prices for everything. You want to get some kind of discount. You want to be able to have some room to get some return on your investment. So it's a rough statement to go for $2,000, but it also does have the make offer feature, so maybe you can get a cheaper price, shoot the message the seller a message, and then also the Return of the Duelist. So I think there was Forbidden Droplet and some of that other higher stuff that was in here. So some pretty great stuff for some more modern stuff. So I love kind of going on different platforms. It's pretty competitive. Like, I think overall it took me like over an hour just to find like these 4 listings, specifically going through filters, trying to find sellers that actually had nice photos and that actually had some kind of information. So it's completely up to you guys in that. But pretty soon here, I'm going to invest into figuring out the best platform to actually buy a collection. I'm working on getting some new equipment here to actually get a good video going for opening up a collection, which I think would be really fun for the channel. So moving on, we have some Field Center tokens. So this is the Ishizu one. These are from a cheap set that I really don't like. I think it was, I forget what it was called, a Dual Devastator. So very over mass produced, and again, I'm by no means a fan of ultra rare sets in general, besides Dual Saga. Dual Saga was really cool. These are just insanely cheap, and you can see, I mean, even starting out for 3 or more, I mean, they're like well under a bone. You can see, and there's plenty of lots available. I just think this is really cool. This is like, you know, a really great anime character from, I guess you can consider it Generation 1. I'm pretty sure that still falls in the realms of Generation 1. And then, of course, we have this Mai 1 as well with the Amazoness Swordswoman, I believe it is, which is a little bit more, but roughly almost around the same price. And just a stack of 105 here, so plenty of availability. So I think these are really cool. These are really affordable, and no one really talks about these. The only thing I don't like about these is that they're like super paper thin. They're even like thinner than like normal Yu-Gi-Oh cards, which is kind of unfortunate. But I think these 2 characters are really great anime characters. This is very affordable, and there's a lot in abundance, so I think there's something to be said about that. Next is going to be some Legendary Collection stuff. You guys know I don't think I can make a single video without talking about this stuff. It's my all-time favorite set, Legendary Collection 3 and 4. Some really heavy hitters, high rarities, more specifically for the first edition secrets, but there's a lot of supers and ultras that are pretty nice too. The first is going to be Two-Headed King Rex from Legendary Collection 3, Yugi's World. I think by far, out of all the vanillas for this set, this is my favorite. I love this. It's high rarity of secret rare. I forget Rex Raptor, whatever his name. So Gen 1 anime kind of has some fodder to that. Really great artwork, and the coloring, the secret rare blending just pops really great in this. Again, this is an extremely old set, and I'm probably really biased, but I have to promote this set because I can't help it. It's just amazing. First edition near mints are going about 8 bones, and there actually is a stack here for 8 bones here. And if you want to switch over to lightly played, it's pretty much about the same price. You might as well go for near mints. And if we switch over to stacks, it looks like there is only, well, there was that one for that 3 stack for 8, and then it goes to about 11 bones for near mint first editions for a stack of 10, and that's pretty much gone off the market. I believe that there isn't too many other rarities of this as far as holofoils. I don't think there is. There is a TP Pack 2, Tournament Pack 2 common, which is pretty cool, and then there's some speed duel stuff and some other commons, but the secret rare definitely being the only holofoil that I'm aware of, and being high rarity secret rare, and being that it's from a Legendary Collection set, more specifically Yugi's World. Really, really great stuff on that. Definitely by far the highest, best version in my opinion. Next is going to be Gazelle, the King of Mythical Beasts. So this, again, Legendary Collection 3, Yugi's World. Amazing ties to Generation 1 anime and Yami Yugi. Fantastic artwork. Had a lot of screen time in the anime, and this is the only holofoil version that we have of this. This is the first time that it was printed, and probably the only time that these are going to be printed in holofoil formatting, which is just insane because these are very, very old cards, and again, just huge ties to the anime, and it's even within, it's embedded within the set. There are legendary collection cards, or collection cards, more specifically based off the fame of the anime series, so pretty great stuff with that. Starting a mark price for near mint first edition copies is going to be a Phantom under 6 bones, about 540, 6 bones. And if you want to switch over to lightly played, they're going to be roughly around 5 bones, give or take. If we switch over to bulk prices, there's a single stack of bulk prices, 10 stacks starting at near mint first edition for 10 bones plus this 5 bone shipping. Now, if you want to switch over to the original prints, there's several different prints, significantly more prints for this one compared to the other vanilla that I just showcased. Nothing really of much interest. We got some Dark Beginning stuff, some Structure Deck stuff, some Speed Duel stuff, demo. Was it demo? Was it demo? I saw a demo somewhere. I guess I didn't. Dark Legends, Mail Raiders. So really, Retro Pack, maybe if you're like a Retro Pack collector. I'm personally not, because it's just insanely expensive to get in that market. But a lot of people, kind of like Darker Revs, they're kind of their own collectors. The original print from Generation 1 Set 2 Metal Raiders, specifically for first editions. Again, this is going to be for collectability purposes, so you always want to go first edition, like 99.9% of all the stuff that I talk about here on this channel. Lightly played first edition is going to be about 8 bones, then near mint is going to be roughly around the same, and this actually has a stack of 3. So again, it's more affordable to even get an Ultra. So I mean, if it is original print, it's significantly more older than the Ultras. The Ultras are just more aesthetically pleasing, and yes, even though I bag and there's like that joke about me like just completely dumping on ultra rares, these are actually very, very nice. These as well as like Generation 1 ultra rares, Shonen Jumps, DT ultra rares are some of the, and Dual Saga are some of the exceptions to the rule for ultras. So that's gonna be that. Next, we're gonna move into Silver Fang, again, Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World. Again, another amazing collector's card, huge ties to the anime, huge ties to Yamayuki himself, the big bossa, and this is the only hollow foil version that we have of this, and this is an extremely old set. Starting market price for this, really great artwork too. I love the artwork on this. And yeah, of course, that's being that it's holofoil of ultra rare. Near mint first edition copies are going to be roughly around 7 bones. And if we switch over to lightly playeds, very, very significantly more affordable, about 3 bones for lightly played, so huge drop on that, 3-4 bones. And if we switch over to bulk prices, there's a single stack of 10. We're seeing the trend here, 10, 10, 10, and near mint first edition copies of that is going to be 11 bones plus this 5 bone shipping here. So rightfully so, there is the original, I think it was Blue Eyes, Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon was the original as a common. So we have, yeah, Speed Duels, Starter Deck Yugi, Dark Beginning, so not as many copies in this one. The original print is going to be a very, very infamous nostalgic Generation 1 Set 1, the Legend of Blue Eyes White Dragon, as a common, and first edition copies are going to run about, this is Spanish, so that's Spanish, if you want Spanish into that, about 2 bones. A lot of these look like they're Spanish. Lightly played is roughly around 4 bones, looks like, if those are English, and then near mint's going to be roughly around 5, 6 or so. If we switch over to bulk prices, there's a 4 stack of near mint first edition for about 5, and then kind of trickles up after that. So pretty great stuff. Again, yes, this is the original print. It is very much a common though, so me personally, I would much rather go for the Legendary Collections Ultras, being again that they're the only holofoils, and probably the only holofoils that we're ever going to get for these ancient collector's cards. Next, we're going to move into Legendary Collections for Joey's World. So Baby Dragon, again, the only holofoil that we have of Baby Dragon, as a super rare to the best of my knowledge, unless I'm missing something, and this is extremely affordable, about 3 bones for this near mint first edition copy right here. This is a fat stack of 17 first edition near mint for not even 3 bones. This is insane. I really think that this is a gem in the rough. You guys should really pick up on this. Again, Baby Dragon has huge ties to the anime. Joy Wheeler, Generation 1, has a lot of screen time, and again, this is the only holofoil version that we have this. It's not so much that even Red Eyes players even run this card, but it just has that huge collectability factor to it. And again, it's the only holofoil as a super rare that we have here. So if we switch over to lightly played, they're going to be roughly around 2 bones. So they decrease even more, which is pretty impressive to me personally. And then stacks, again, lightly played first edition around 3 bones, just 3 stack. That near mint stack for roughly around 3 that I said for first edition near mint for about 17. And there's only 1 page, and then it's pretty much gone, at least for this platform on TCGP. So really great stuff. Again, I want to say, I think was this a structure deck, a starter deck card originally? No, Metal Raiders. Okay, so Metal Raiders as a common, you can see the trend here, was the original print, and these are very good money. Apparently, the first edition copies starting marking price for lightly played is almost 12 bones, 11.75 market value here, a stack of 6 for lightly played, very impressive. Let's see near mints, and then near mints go for a whopping 21. This is insane to me. It's insane to me that I understand that this came out and it's first and it's a lot older, but it still very much is a common. It's insane to me. I would much rather have a first edition near mint, first edition super rare reprint, because it has the holofoil. It is very much a super rare holofoil. It's not just common. I understand, again, these are the original print runs. Totally respect if you're into first run prints. I am too, but I'm not going to pay 21 bones for a common when I can pay 2 to 4 to 3 for near mint, lightly played first edition, and several in bulk prices. That's just insane to me. Let's go ahead and check out bulk prices. And bulk prices, again, lightly played doesn't start for about 12 bones, and then the only bulk price of near mint is going to be for about 22 plus. So really great stuff from that. Again, I highly recommend that alternatively you guys go for the super rares. Again, you can see the trend here, Legendary Collection 4, Joey's World, Harpy's Lady. This is the only holofoil that we have of this as well. So it's a My Valentine card, it's a Harpies card, there's a whole deck behind it, there's a whole collector thing behind it. There's a lot of things that could be said about this card. Again, this is not the first original one. I think the original one was from Metal Raiders as well, so Generation 1 Set 2. There is also really cool uncensored artwork if you get the specific original first edition. I think Unlimiteds too, but you might as well go first edition. There was like a set 1 print where they had the uncensored, where like on the chest it's discolored. And anyway, you guys probably know the story. I've showcased it multiple times. This isn't the last time, this isn't the first time I'll be talking about that misprint. It's a very well-known misprint. I've personally invested in the first edition original uncensored lineups myself, but these are very, very nice too, again, because like following the trend, this is the only holofoil as a super rare that we have this card, and there's just a lot going on for this card. I think there's a lot of investment value in this. So starting market value for this first edition, is this English? Oh, this is English. Okay, so about 4 bones. There's a 2 stack here, first edition near mint, if you include this 99-cent shipping. And then if we want to switch over to lightly playeds, it looks like they're even more expensive than the first couple of near mints, so that's kind of strange. So we'll switch over to bulk prices, and you can get bulk prices for about 5 bones, starting market price. First edition near mint, 5 bones, plus the 78 shipping, depending on, I guess it's just how that is, for a 2 play set, and then it goes to about 7 bones first edition near mint for a stack of 16, and then Phantasm Gaming locked in for the fat stack of 38 first edition near mints for about 7 bones. So it continues to trick it up as you see as it goes down, but this is a really great card, and I think there's a lot going for this. Again, I believe it's Metal Raiders was the original print, and yes, let's see here. Okay, so it's not even showing it here, but I'm pretty sure that it's Metal Raiders, and there is something that says like the original. Okay, so the original artwork. So this is, you could actually has it separated here, original artwork, and this is what I'm talking about. Obviously you can see why this is the uncensored artwork here. And these are actually really cool. Again, I think that these are fantastic. And I mean, we're looking at, as soon as you switch on that first edition for the original artwork, uncensored artwork, Metal Raiders, it goes straight to 12 bones for just these terrible conditions. If we switch over to near mint, I mean, we're talking about 41 bones. This is insane. I remember when these were going left and right for like under a bone. Like, I don't know if people forgot about this uncensored ship or what. If we switch over to lightly played, it gets about cut in half to about 22, 21. So insane numbers here for the first edition copies. It's probably significantly less, but still pretty valuable even for the unlimiteds. Again, I cringe at unlimiteds. I have to go first edition if they're available. So that's just me personally, to each their own. It looks like only stacks are available for near mint first editions, and starting market price for stack first edition near mint is 41 bones, and this is a common. Now granted, this is generation 1 set 2, and it's uncensored, so there's a lot of kind of mystery and allure behind this, and a lot of great collectability purposes. So that's also an alternative that's not as affordable, but very, very great as well. Now unfortunately it's quite expensive. Moving on is going to be Stumbling. Invasion of Chaos, one of my all-time favorite Generation 1 sets. So, you know, Cookie Cutter Chaos, Chaos Emperor Dragon, Blackluster Soldier, really great stuff. This is a very, very disturbing card. One, it has awesome artwork, and it's just a very powerful card. It's a continuous magic card that just completely stops attacks in its track, and it's like anything. Flip summon, normal summon, special summon, anything. They just go to defense. They can't attack. Obviously, yes, it's easy to get around this current day in meta. You can do Disrupted and clear back row easily enough, but this came out of Invasion and Chaos, and just the sheer fact that this is very impactful and very old, which is pretty incredible that they made such a powerful card. They made a lot of powerful cards in Generation 1, but this is kind of something that definitely goes like under the radar. A lot of people don't know about this, and I personally don't remember playing this as a kid. Obviously, it was during that time. It was Generation 1, but again, it has awesome artwork, a very impactful card. Can it get rid of easily? Yes, but it's still really great for what it is, especially seeing how it's Generation 1. It's insanely old. First edition lightly played near mint copies, we're going to be looking at roughly around a bone a piece for starting market price for lightly playeds. So we're going to go ahead and switch over to bulk prices, and unfortunately apparently there isn't bulk prices available for first edition copies lightly played in near mint, so that's kind of interesting, but very, very impactful card. I think this is really, really great. Really quick, wanted to see, it looks like Dark Revelations 2 was the only other alternative print to that. Next is going to be Dancing Elf. So another obscure common. To my understanding, I believe that this is a solo print common, tournament pack 2, so insanely old. Interesting artwork. It's really got that old style artwork to it and kind of a elusive background. Really, really cool. But by all means, this is all, again, as the majority of my stuff is for collector value stuff. It's kind of the beef of the material here on this channel. Pretty good money. So near mint. It's a tournament pack card, so obviously there's only unlimited. It's about 23 bones. And it quickly trickles up here. It looks like there's only one stack, bulk price stack here, starting market price for near mint for 40 bones. If we switch over to lightly played, it goes to about 18 bones. And let's see if there's any bulk prices for that. Looks like, again, only bulk prices, stack of 5, 40 bones for near mint. So tournament pack stuff, insanely old, highly sought after, even for the commons. Next is going to be Tour Guide from the Underworld, more specifically the Battle Pack Epic Dawn Star Foil Rares. Now don't get these confused with the commons or the black rares or the white rares or any of the other stuff, specifically the Star Foil Rares. I think there's a really special market on this Tour Guide. Just like Injection Fairy Lily, which I'm about to get into right now, there's a lot of great rarities. Obviously, we have the Ultimate Rare, we have the First Edition Secret Rares from Extreme Victory. There's a lot of really great stuff for this card, but I think this has kind of a special twist because it's like DT, but it's not, but it's like synthetic DT, but in a good way. I personally really like the aesthetics and the decorations behind Starfoil Rares. I was really excited when they first came out, and none of them really took off, but because this is such a powerful, I want to say powerful, I guess a good, like, collector's card, and a lot of people know this card, and a lot of people are geared towards this card, and some people even play this. I mean, probably Burning Abyss is probably one of the only decks. I mean, I'm a huge Dark World player myself, so sometimes I play this in my Dark World deck, but you can see all the Burning Abyss stuff being featured, showcased here. So anyway, these are pretty cool, and these look really great, and it's Tour Guide, and these are worth pretty good money. Starting market price for near mint first edition is going to be about 5 bones. And it looks like there's not even bulk prices for near mints. There's a stack here of 2 for, again, around 5 first edition near mints, and then that's it. These are all onesie stacks. If we switch over to lightly played, it looks like we fare a little bit better. There's a 2 stack here for roughly around 5 for lightly played first editions, and then there's 2 pages of availability, but there's no option to even switch over to the 3+ bracket. So really not a lot of the market, and again, I think this is something kind of not necessarily caught too late. It's something that's kind of been trending. These more popular Starfoil cards, specifically for lightly played to near mint first editions, have been kind of going away, and they look very, very nice. I really like them a lot. Next is going to be Soul Observing Bone Tower. So this card deserves to have a hollow foil so much. First of all, it has one of my all-time favorite monster cards, which is Goblin Attack Force, which is really, really cool. And there's like this Soul Tower, and it looks really great. I'm just really love with this artwork, and I think they did this card so dirty by just making it a rare. Granted, it was Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Ancient Sanctuary, very old. But there's a lot going on in this card, and there's a crazy combo. I think they kind of, they busted it. I think they broke down one of the cards, but there is this OTK that you could do that basically would make your opponent deck out. I don't know if it's still a thing or not, but some tech genius made it and thought about it, and I don't know how people think of these things. People that are a lot smaller, a lot smarter than me think about all these crazy combos, and they get cards banned, and I don't really know. But really great stuff. I mean, it's got really great, like, you know, it's a dark level 3 zombie. I'm a huge zombie player myself. Obviously, this is pretty much only valuable for the deck out combo. I don't really know much else that people use this, but the artwork is just fantastic. If we get a hollow foil reprint, please, for the love of God, Konami, not an ultra rare crap cheap reprint. I want something nice. This card is insanely old. That's very wishful thinking on this, just because this is so old, and there's really not that many other versions. We'll go into the versions in a minute though, but a relatively a pricey card. I mean, starting market price for Near Mint First Edition is about 4-ish bones here. Then the stacks quickly jump to 8 bones for Near Mint First Edition, and then it bottoms out all the way to whopping 75. Very ambitious price point here at the bottom. But if we switch over to lightly played, significantly more affordable, about like 2 bones, 2.5, 2.5 bones, or 1.5 bones here for lightly played first editions. And then if we switch over to stacks, there actually is 1 stack of lightly played for roughly around 3 bones, but take into consideration this 5-bone shipping here. So really great stuff. All right, other versions to look at. I'm pretty sure are just common. So a few different versions here. Commons, Dark Rev common, Legendary Collection 4 common, and then a structure deck common. So really, in my opinion, even though I'm very much a big fan of Legendary Collection 4, not really for the commons though, besides Injection Fairy Lily, which actually I'm going to get into momentarily when I review the Starfoil one. So really, Ancient Sanctuary being the OG print, being the highest rarity of the rare, that's going to be the one to take the cake. I think this card would look fantastic, and I really hope that it gets opted for a hollow foil reprint eventually. Injection Fairy Lily. Okay, so same case with Tour Guide, Battle Pack Epic Dawn, specifically the Starlight Rare, specifically the first editions exclusively. This card has amazing artwork, it has amazing ties to Generation 1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Collectability, and again, it's just an all-around great collector's card in general, and this is a really great rarity. I think this rarity is really underappreciated, and it's very old as well. Starting market price for this is going to be about 5 bones for Near Mint First Edition. There is a stack of 6 right here for about 5 bones again, and there's about 2 pages availability. If we switch over to lightly played variants, it goes to about 3 bones plus 99 cents shipping. And let's check bulk prices. Looks like there's a few. All the bulk prices are near mint. Again, leading the train for the stack of 6 is going to be Near Mint First Edition for 5 bones here. So again, just like Tour Guide, not a lot of availability. There used to be so many of these on the market. These were like trash on $1. Everyone had these like under a bone, 0.5 bone, insanely affordable. And now they're going for pretty good money. Not like obscene amount of money, but these are being seen for how nice they really are. And I might be a little biased, but I think these are really fantastic. All right, moving on. So everyone knows, of course, Legacy of Darkness, LOD, Generation 1 First Edition Secrets are insanely great. I remember picking up these for like 14 bones a piece a long time ago when I was in Europe, but that's no here than there. And then the Starfoil rares that I just talked about. What I think is really nice is actually the Legendary Collection for Joey's World common. Now hear me out. You might think the White Mexican's crazy. This might be kind of completely going out into like Nebula in here, but this card is relatively affordable. I mean, even if we switch over again, because you're going to want to go for bulk prices for this, and I've done this personally a lot myself. There's a whopping stack of 195 here for Near Mint First Edition for about, you know, a bone and a dime, which is pretty cool. 12 stack here for about a bone, 4 stack here for 99. So it's, you know, 1 page, and it's not, that's the thing, you kind of see these are being bought up. They're being bought up very slowly. Obviously, yes, it's not hollow foil, it's just common, but it is very much Injection Fairy Lily, and it has this Legendary Collection stamp on the card set, which is very significant. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Again, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing rarity of Injection Fairy Lily. But given the infamy of this card and the high collectability of this card, and this being very, very affordable for pretty good bulk prices on this, I personally am investing in these, as well as the first edition Starfoil Rares, and of course the original first edition Secrets as well. So all around, just great stuff for Injection Fairy Lily. Next is going to be Spiritual Water Aoi. Losing my Japanese, can't remember how to pronounce this. Aoi, I guess how you pronounce it. Anyway, this is the holofoil version as a super rare from Astral Pack 2. And this is really great. The sheer fact that you can look at your opponent's hand, but not only look at your opponent's hand, you can pitch one from their hand. It reminds me of, I think, is it Trap Dust Shoot? I think Trap Dust Shoot, that's the card where you can like send a monster back from their hand. Kind of the same mechanics. I love, first of all, that's a holofoil from an Astral Pack. It's not just some like cheap reprint super rare from like a subset. This is Astral Pack, so pretty cool. A very, very old Astral Pack, being that Astral Pack 2. So very, very old. Great that it's a holofoil of super rare. Pretty cool artwork. I think this is very, very undervalued. Yes, it's specific because you have to run it in water decks. I mean, that's I mean, can you say Mermaid Atlantean? I mean, that's probably one of the more popular, maybe Frog Monarchs, or like a totally awesome deck, whatever it may be. There's options out there. I personally like water cards myself. I haven't really built or tried to really compete with a water deck or by any means, but water stuff is pretty cool. They have some really cool artwork, and I'm just interested in water stuff in general. But this is just a really, really great card. Even though it is attribute specific, I think this is an extremely underrated card. Really, again, great rarity, great effect, and great artwork, and good set as well. So very affordable as well. Roughly around like 1.5 bones for lightly played. Near mints are about 2 bones, roughly the same. 4 pages availability, and if we switch over to bulk prices, there's a stack of near mint unlimited for about roughly around 2 bones for 8, and it continues to trickle up, but it doesn't really increase too much until like the bottom out here price. So really, really great card. I think it's very, very underrated. Of course, and then there is a common version, several common versions. Looks like the original version was from Cybernetic Revolution, which is insanely old as well. But again, the super rares, highest rarity, are very, very affordable, so might as well just go for the super rares personally. Cosmo Queen is going to be next. This is going to be the McDonald's promo ultra rare. Now, if you look at the set, there's really nothing that's very valuable. There's some things that look pretty cool. Like, I personally like the artwork, and I like the holofoil, how it shine gloss from Dark Piercing Light. It looks like Dark Piercing Light is worth a couple bones, so I mean, if you get in near mint one, you know, congratulations, you got, you know, almost 10 bones, 6, 7, 8, 10 bones, so that's pretty cool. But all in all, there really isn't too many heavy hitters besides, well, I guess Millennium Shield. Is this Millennium Shield? I guess apparently this is worth some pretty good money too. Okay, so I was wrong. Millennium Shield is like around 50, 58, 60 bones. So if you have a Millennium Shield, I think this is very, very ugly. Pretty cool name, but this is not it's like a knockoff of, what was that shield card? Maybe I'm getting it confused with Labyrinth Wall or something. Anyway, personally, I think this is great. I love Goddess of Whim. I think this is great. Personally, I like the OCG artwork more. If you guys know the Japanese version, you guys know what I'm talking about. This is worth a couple dollars too. But anyway, to get back to it, the Cosmo Queen obviously is most aesthetically pleasing. Ultra Rare was the highest rarity that came into this, and this is going for pretty good money. Looks like, is this English? Apparently, if this really is near mint, it's for about, you know, 46 bones, then it quickly jumps up to, you know, Phantom under 60. So really good money on this McDonald's promo. Very, very old. Pretty cool artwork. I'll admit, pretty cool artwork. Unfortunately, it's the ultra rare, but again, the sheer fact that it's just, you know, really old promo, given like McDonald's promo is so random, really, really cool stuff. So you guys might want to check that out. And the last card that I have to showcase for you guys tonight is going to be Ledger of Ledgermen. So this is the original print. Actually, this is the only print that we have. This high rarity of Secret Rare from Cybernetic Horizons. Really great artwork, really great effect. I personally use this in anti-meta. Yes, it's an extremely slow card. Your opponent could more than definitely kill you before you get this effect off, but I think the payoff is worth it. The weight, very, very great. Could potentially give you a +2. Really great artwork, high rarity Secret Rare, and again, this is a solo print. This has been going up slowly. I remember like for the longest time, this card was like 1 bone, 2 bone, 3 bones, and now it's sitting at Well, it's probably about the same right now. We see first edition near mints for roughly around 4-ish, 3 bones here. If we switch over to bulk prices, that's when it starts to increase quite a bit more. It's about 6 bones for this 4 stack for near mint first edition, then it goes to about 8 plus this 5 bone shipping for 18. So not so hot for the bulk prices, but if you want to go for some onesie twosies, it's not that bad. And I think this is a very, very underrated card. I think it could go places in the future, could stay the same, maybe go down a little bit, but I think that this card is going up before it goes down. That is all I have for you guys tonight. I apologize that I have not made a video in quite some time. It's extremely difficult for me to multitask between Air Force ROTC and a full college workload and everything else that's been going on. So I apologize about that. I'm still extremely compassionate about this channel and trying to find creative ways to bring you guys some awesome content. And I really hope that you guys are enjoying this content. If you are, please communicate that with me, because I love to hear from each and every one of you guys. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has been part of my life for many years. It's a great passion of mine. I love the brotherhood. I love the trading. I love the investment values. There's a lot of really great things that go into this value, into this hobby, if you just give it the time and the effort. And I think it's important to diversify yourself and have things that you can like and enjoy and invest your time in. The world's a really lonely place. Please remember to be a friend, be a brother, be a sister. Always remember to take care of each other and love each other. You never really know what is going on. There's a lot of anxiety, loneliness in the world. So please be there for each other. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I hope you guys are making some fantastic Yu-Gi-Oh! Investments yourself. This has been a showcasing by The White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.